Is traditional mass dying? Well, in tonight's Sea and Carnival, one mass veteran, educator, shared with our reporter Marie Hull the steps that keep the traditional carnival character, the fancy sailor, alive.
The steps of the sailor dance is quite unique to the human eye, and at age 80, Austin Wilson has kept the secrets of this traditional mass character close to his heart and now shares them with the future generation. The heel and toe movement of this dance dates back to the 1800s when the American, British and French warships docked in Port of Spain. Mr. Wilson tells us the drunken-like movement of the visiting sailors were imitated.
Whenever they walk from the ship, they have time off, and they're walking up Charlotte or Frederick Street. You find them maybe walking and drifting. And the normal thing is that because they are sailors on the sea, they're drunk.
Despite the origins of the sailor mass dance, he says the movement is quite graceful and represents the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, especially when you consider the national instrument, the steel pan, which he says meets the perfect timing for a fancy sailor. Mr. Wilson, who paid homage to veteran massmen Jason Griffith and Jim Hardin for all that he knows, shares the importance of knowing traditional mass even as Carnival evolves.
We have the knowledge. We have a right to pass it on to our little ones so that they could grow up in our culture and try to emulate it. What has happened to us in the past few years, our general carnival has deteriorated. Without people like Peter Minchell, McFarlane, carnival is nowhere. The bar, the beads and the bikini is Brazilian mass.
Here at the Belmont St. Francis Girls Roman Catholic School, Principal Andrea Stewart says it is important for her girls to know the history of their school's location.
We must know what our history is. The art form, as I know it, in Belmont, sailor, Saldina, coming out, seeing that sailor mass, it is dying, but we still have authentic sailors in Belmont, and it's important for the girls to know, because we're in Belmont, the history of Belmont.
But what is sailor mass without a costume? The average sailor can be seen with a starched white uniform with colorful embellishment, a walking stick as a partner, gloves and a detailed headpiece to set him apart from other traditional characters. Mr. Wilson, who has been designing and making costumes for as long as he could remember, says each outfit tells a story and pays tribute to the Trinbago culture.
It projects Trinidad and Tobago culture, not Chinese culture, not Brazilian culture, no other body culture but Trinidad and Tobago. If we continue how we are continuing to call Carnival a street party, we'll end up in nils.
Austin Wilson is a member of the Belmont Exotic Stylish Sailors, or BEST group, and says Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival goes beyond being a street party. He calls on citizens to appreciate the culture of traditional mass to ensure our history is preserved. Marie Hall, C News.